Hey there, fellows. So here's what we'll be doing in this one. Right here on the hood of this car we have a scoop, or air to enter the engine bay. And I suggest we make a big one, and see what that does for us. We'll remove the turbo, and yes, this does have a turbo, and use an enormous scoop to catch the air, create pressure, and force the air into the engine. Somebody has to have done it before, but we want to try with this car, which we bought specifically with this experiment in mind. Did you figure it out? Not quite. I prefer this location. We'll put it right here, at the wider portion of the joiner, so that we maintain sufficient airflow. Yeah, I think this would be the right spot. So check this out, guys. This is what we've made. Now we've got us this sort of lovely hood scoop. So it is pretty big, but before we get started, make sure to support our channel. Sub and hit the notification bell. And now here we go. Alright, let's see how this performs in stock form. I'm pretty keen. It's very simple: foot off the brake, on the gas, and floor it. Boost is 0.5 bar, and we can stop now. That was 100 Ks. 0 to 60 was 4.2 seconds. To 100 it was 8.6. Yeah, this car is pretty quick. Very nice indeed. So here's what we've done, guys. We've removed the intercooler, the turbo is disconnected, and we've relocated the mass airflow sensor. Piping diameter is the same as stock. That's for it to work properly. Also, we've placed a bit of mesh to prevent anything from getting sucked in. And this would be our oversized hood scoop that is going to provide us with a ram air effect. And so this is actually a bit detuned, as we've brought the upper part down, making the scoop itself a tad smaller, to slightly limit the amount of air that's getting sent into the engine. And so we'll start experimenting with the scoop looking like this. Okay, let's see how this do. Resetting my race logic. There we go. Come on now. Come on. Come on now, come on. 100, finally. The gauge is and was showing me 0, 14 seconds to 60 kilometers an hour, 36.9 seconds to 100. That is just ridiculously slow. Anyway, at least now I think I know how I should work the pedal. Here we go. Listen to that whistle. It's as if, yeah, as if the turbo in there is doing its thing. Come on now, come on. The gauge is giving me a negative reading. It's not even at 0. 100. 34 seconds. That took a while. That was acceleration to 100 Ks. 11.8 seconds it took to get up to 60. 34.3 to 100. This is one weak-ass hood scoop. So here's the situation. In its current form with this hood scoop, the engine is operating very unstably. It doesn't want to rev at all, but it did get the car up to 100. Even if it did take 34 seconds. I feel like a lot would have gotten there faster. Okay, now let's bring the upper cover up a bit. Now we do have a pressure gauge inside the car, and with the scoop, yes, the needle was approaching 0, but we definitely didn't see any sort of positive boost pressure. Anyway, let's go ahead and max out the scoop, and just see what happens. I mean, perhaps with the scoop dialed all the way up, we'll get at least a bit of a charge. Okay, let's carry on. So right now we're maxing out the hood scoop, making it huge. We did a bit of searching on the internet, and apparently when traveling 90 kilometers an hour, well, I mean, it depends on the air density as well, but the force pressing against a 1 square meter surface equals 58 kilograms. What do we got? 650 mil and 500. So we've got a gigantic hood scoop going here. And now we're going to find out whether this is big enough to catch the right amount of air and stuff it into the engine. Okay, well, time for some testing. Let's go. Come on now. You can do it, I know you can. Come on. Just a bit left. And that's 100, excellent. Just terrific. 32 and a half? Excellent. When you get the hang of modulating the throttle, when you get a feel for how this behaves, your time gets better all of a sudden. Let's go. That's 100, and the time is improved. 31 seconds, check that out. Curious how that even works, but we're looking at 31.9 seconds. Well, we've gotten the time under 32, that's something. Okay, so here's where we're at with this. This is quite a weird one. It feels as if this doesn't work, but the figures show that it sort of does. Maybe it would have worked better on an ECU for an NA car. Check this out, guys. The results, you saw them full well. That being said, I reckon we can do better. Allow me to explain why I think so. You see, this entire setup, all of the vents and so on, it was all designed to work together. And the sensor monitoring the volume of air coming into the engine, it'll only work right with everything in stock form. Anyway, so we fitted a piece of pipe, we narrowed this and that, and after a bit of thought, we concluded that we might have gotten this wrong. And so we've decided to construct a sort of velocity tube out of some intercooler piping. We're gonna be using this factory tube. You got the mass airflow sensor placed right here. And so with a tube of this diameter with the dividers and all of that in place, the sensor should be able to do a better job. So yeah, let's throw all of this together then. And something tells me that this will be the more optimal setup that will yield some proper results. Okay, let's piece it all together and go do some more testing. Alright, everything's in place, it's all looking good. And here's how this works. The air enters through here, it accelerates, it goes past the sensor, and after that it finds its way into the throttle body. And now with the turbocharger disconnected and so on, let's see how this thing performs with a better thought-out ducting setup, and with the sensor mounted the right way. Let's do this. We are ready to go. The engine is running. And we've got the stock hood scoop on there. With the sensor in its current position, the engine is even idling better. Nice. Okay, here we go. Take a look at that. No turbo, but it's still hauling. Come on now. Come on. Let's see now. Yeah, you can definitely feel that it's down on power. 0 to 100 time is 33 seconds. Come on now, come on. 100, terrific. 30.7, that is awesome. But we still haven't even gotten the ram air scoop installed. Which means that as it is, the engine is effectively a naturally aspirated unit. Now that things are going so well, let's get that big scoop hood on there. And see how this thing is gonna drive. Okay, so the hood is on there, we've got the scoop in the half-open position, and let's see how the thing performs. Will you look at that now? The pressure gauge, well, the engine is rotating at high speed, but the pressure isn't dropping. It's at 0, and that is good. And I'm even seeing a positive reading after 80 kilometers an hour. Okay, well... 0 to 100 time was 30.3 seconds, which ain't half bad. That's 90. Pressure reading is good, and we're at 100. And we're looking at a time of 26.9 seconds. The scoop is doing something that we can say for certain. But let's try opening it up all the way and see how the car accelerates with the hood scoop wide open. Let's go. Here we go. First run. And here we go. 100, and the time is 30.9. Second run. $90. 100. 28.5. What's the deal? Third run. Okay, so the needle on the pressure gauge is fluctuating slightly. 31 seconds? Why so much? Let's go. Fourth run. There we are. Pressure is at 0. We have gotten to 100 Ks after 27.7 seconds time. Okay guys, so the correct hood scoop geometry, well, we saw 30.7 seconds with no ram charge components, 26.9 with a half-open scoop, and 27.7 with the scoop fully open. I'd imagine that's because of the drag. Yeah, these things have to be well thought out. In any case, this seems to work. And you bore witness to the results. That's all I got for you. Catch you guys later.